And now this is the basic lesson flow. Okay, again, this is the thing. This is what I will. This is what I always say. Okay, master your basic lesson flow because this is the key. Okay, if you want to be successful in passing the demo. So, sa mga ka-Engoo natin na pumasa na sa kanilang initial evaluation, okay, like the computer and the language test. Congratulations, by the way. I know that you're here because you are now preparing for your demo. Yeah, so this video is, all about your demo lesson, in particular with daily news material. Okay, so I'm really excited. So let's get it on. Whoa! Okay. Parang natawa ako sa mga effects na ganyan. Alright. Okay, so these are the things that we will be discussing today. Alright, so we have four. We have pre-demo preparations, the basic lesson flow, the daily news material, and of course, the frequently asked questions. Number one, the pre-demo preparations. And then here's letter A, Q&A, demo, and briefing. Okay, so before your demo, you will have a Q&A. All right, so this is actually your final chance, okay, to ask about your demo lesson. And of course, we have the demo itself, and then of course the briefing. Okay, and yeah, in your demo lesson, it's letter B. So you have two demo classes. Okay, you have a demo lesson for with materials. Okay, and then also free conversation. We will have like demo class with materials. Okay, and we will be using daily news. Your demo lesson is actually 15 minutes. Okay, so it's different from the actual class or actual lesson because we have 25 minutes. Okay, this time minus 10, so that's 15 minutes. Okay, and then of course after the Q&A is over, you will receive a link to access the lesson room. You need to be always on time. Okay, so once you click the link already, so you will be in the room, and then once the time started, the demo also will start. Okay, and now this is the basic lesson flow. Okay, again, this is the thing. This is what I will. This is what I always say. Okay, master your basic lesson flow because this is the key. Okay, if you want to be successful in passing the demo, you have to master the basic lesson flow. Okay, if you can memorize, well and good. Okay, so once the student's already there, you greet the student. Okay, so hi, good morning. My name is Jack, and I'm going to be your tutor for today. So, how would you like me to call you? And then once the students already, have given already his or her name, then you can say, nice to meet you, Taka-san. Okay. Again, do not forget the honorific term for Japanese, that is san. Okay. For adult, that is san. But for kids, for boys, you have kun, and then for female kid is chan. All right. So san. Okay. So nice to meet you, Taka-san. And how are you today? Okay, so small talk. You can actually ask question, to engage, with the students, or you can also ask, how's the weather in your country today? And then after that, you proceed immediately to the audio and video check. Standard operating procedure, you need to have an audio and video check. Okay, so can you hear me clearly? What about my video? Can you see me clearly? Okay, then if the students would say yes, okay, then proceed immediately to the next step. Okay, and if you notice, if there's no video cam, okay, on the student side, hindi niya inon yung ano niya, yung he turned off the video, you can always ask. Okay, like for example, you can say, I noticed that your video is not on. Would you like to share? Then if the student would say, no, my webcam is dead. Okay, or defective yung webcam niya, or ayaw niyang ipakita yung mukha niya, or meron siyang internet connection issues na mas lalong mag-slow yung internet kapag may video call. Okay, so you can say, okay, that's all right. Oh, no worries. We will have an audio lesson instead. Maybe next time. All right, and then That's it. Okay, then after the audio video check, then you can proceed with the introduction. Okay, since this is a demo lesson, wala tayong a student request. Okay, so that's why you need to ask the student. Since this is our first time to have a lesson, would you like to do the introduction to get to know each other better? Okay, then if the student would say yes, and then you proceed with the introduction. And you also ask, okay, would you like to go first? Then if the student would say, yeah, please do the honor, okay, to introduce first. Ang estudyante. So you can introduce yourself, okay? You can provide your name, your age, okay, your job, or if you're a student, what's your program in college, and also your hobbies, okay, and also the things that you like about. For example, if your student is a Japanese, the things that you like about Japan, okay, like for example, food, culture, okay, because Japanese will be delighted to know that you know something about them. Okay, like for food, you like Japanese kimchi. Yeah, you can say, I like Japanese food. I like sushi, takoyaki, sashimi, and then many other food. Okay, and then also culture. Okay, so yeah, something in common. Okay, they will be delighted to really know that. Okay, and then that's the introduction. Okay, again, after your introduction, when you already introduce yourself, or after you have introduced yourself, you can say, what about you, Takasan? Can you share something about yourself? Or can you share anything about yourself? And then after the introduction of the student, then you proceed with the consultation. Again, di mo pa alam if this is a daily news or free conversation. So that's why there's a consultation. Okay? So you can say, well, what would you like us to do today? Would you like to use a material or would you like to do free conversation? Okay, so when the student will say, yeah, let's do daily news today. Okay, so you proceed immediately with the lesson. Okay, so dito na papasok ang number 5, direct instruction and guided practice. Okay, so this is actually number 5 is the lesson proper. Okay, so later we will be discussing, okay, the content of the daily news. Of course, the last one is ending the class. Okay, end the class naturally. All right, and then do the wrap up of what the things, what are the things that you have, taught the students. Okay, so you can say, um, well, we don't have much time. All right, we only have like a few seconds left. So today we did an article entitled, and please do not forget the vocabularies you have learned from this article and also the vocabularies I taught you in the chat box. I wrote in the chat box so you can revisit it, and then also the corrected sentences. Okay, well, and in the wrap up, after the wrap up, you can actually praise the student. Okay, then you can say, wow, you're very good in pronunciation. Okay, you're good in reading. You can also that. You're good in speaking. You're good in intonation. You're good in listening. Okay, your listening is very active because every time I ask you questions, immediately you responded. Okay, so many things, many aspects about the English language. All right, and then you can also the weaknesses. Okay, and then after you have provided, you can say, however, there is a need to improve your vocabulary, right? Because I noticed earlier you're having pauses when you speak. So maybe you are looking for the right words to say. All right. So, well, to address that issue, just increase your vocabulary every day. Okay. 3 to 5 new words a day. That would be enough. All right. And then that includes phrases and idiomatic expressions. All right. So you can always suggest, okay, to the students, make her or his weaknesses become her strength in the future. Okay. So that's actually the basic lesson flow. Again, do not forget any step. Okay, you will be endangered if you will forget the greetings, if you will forget the audio and video check. Okay, so minus na. X ka na yan. X-Men. All right, so that's the lesson flow, the basic lesson flow. Now let's go to the material. Okay, so when you go to the material, of course, when you reach, when the student would like to say, oh, I want to do daily news material. Okay, so in the material, actually, the student can click, okay, the news. All right, okay, ito yung makikita ninyo in the portal. Makikita nyo yung daily news material. Okay, so on the upper left, you just click it, and then lalabas yung materials, lalabas yung daily news. Okay, and then yeah, we have daily news for intermediate, proficient, and advanced. So, in Engoo, kahit naubos na ng estudyante yung lahat ng mga grammar materials, may mga estudyante kasi na 2,000, 3,000 lessons na ang natapos, 1,000 lessons. So, in that case, parang naubos mo na yung mga other materials. But here in Engoo, hindi tayo nauubusan because we have daily news, okay? Because every day may mga bagong material, okay, na pinapublish, especially daily news. And now, here's our material itself. Okay, so like I said, the first part of the material is the title of the article. Okay, so you can ask the student to read the title, or you can also read the title. Okay, you can say, now we're here in the material. Can you please read the title for me, please? All right. And then you can also ask the student about the image or the picture. Like, for example, you can say, have you seen anything like this in your country? Okay, so the engagement will start, okay, on set of the material, all right? And then after that, you proceed immediately to exercise number one, which is vocabulary. All right. Here's a good thing. Most of the materials here in Engoo, the drill is always listen and repeat. Okay. So you can say, oh, let's proceed to exercise number one. We have here vocabulary. So I'm going to read each word, sample sentences, and definition. Just repeat after me. Okay. The listen and repeat drill. All right. But you can always you have to ask, okay, the student, like for example in your demo, you can say, would you like to read it by yourself, or would you like to do the listen and repeat, or would you like to repeat after me? Okay, and then if the student would like to say, yeah, I want to repeat after you, okay, you start reading. Okay, so we have here the first word, which is an adjective, lazy, which means not wanting to work or be physically active. And then after the third repeat the definition, then you can say, or you can read also the example. You say, for example, my son is lazy but my daughter is very hardworking. All right. And then as you can see, meron tayong arrow, anong tawag dito? Arrow down key. So just click it. If you will click it, lalabas yung mga different examples. Actually, in every word, meron tayong 3 to 5 examples. Okay, so you can also ask the student, would you like to read all the examples, or are you okay with one example per word, or per vocabulary? All right, so always confirm with the student. All right, and then after after every exercise, you need to always ask, okay, the student, do you have any questions or any clarifications before we proceed to the next exercise? If none, then proceed. Okay, if there is especially questions about word or definition or phrase. Okay, so again, take advantage of the online resources like dictionary.com or thesaurus.com. But again, do not copy paste. Okay, so whatever in dictionary.com, as much as possible, you have to explain the words as simple as possible. Okay, so importante na yung own words mo. Okay, and then yeah, you can also give the synonyms, okay, in thesaurus.com. Okay, but you have to explain it in the simple possible way you can. Now, after exercise number one, you proceed to exercise number two, and that is reading the article. All right, so you can say, now we move ahead and proceed to exercise number two, this time, Takasan. All right, now, would you like to read the article by yourself, or you would like to repeat after me? Or you would like to do the listen and repeat drill? Okay, then if you would like to say, yeah, I want to repeat after you, okay, and then you have to read the article by paragraph. Okay, so once you have finished the first paragraph, then you let the student repeat. All right, of course you start with the title. Okay, so again, our title for today is, which Hawaiian island is best for your next holiday? All right, then he will repeat it, and then proceed with the first paragraph. All right, so in the demo, your students, actually this is not actually an actual student. Okay, this is actually an evaluator. Okay, pretending as a student. Okay, so most of them are actually intermediate level. Okay, in the actual lesson, if it's a beginner, you have to read the article slowly. Okay, but in this case, this is a demo, so it's intermediate. Okay, and read the article clearly as possible. Okay, and then after that, okay, again, okay, after you read the article, do you have any questions or any clarifications, Takasan? Okay, if none, then proceed. If there is, then answer the question as simple as possible. Okay, now proceed to question number 3. Okay, I mean exercise number 3. So you can say, now let's move to exercise number 3 this time. So we have questions. Okay, so I'm gonna check your understanding about the article that you have just read. So we have here question number 1. What can you see on a tour of the Halawa Valley? Okay? So in the teacher view, mayroong answer. So you can confirm. If nahihirapan yung estudyante to answer, you can always go back to the article and highlight kung saan yung sagot. Okay? Pag nahihirapan siya in the actual lesson. Okay? But hopefully in the demo, alam na ng estudyante for sure yung sagot. Alright? Hindi ka na mahirapan at magkalisod-lisod pa dyan. Okay? Again, since dito na nag-express ng estudyante ng kanyang answer, okay, dito na yung speaking time ng estudyante. Listen attentively and check students' pronunciation and grammar, okay? Kung may mispronunciation, you correct the pronunciation proactively. Correct mistakes proactively, okay? Use polite expressions and words, okay, when you correct mistakes of the student, all right? Now, if na-answer na niya lahat ng questions, and then you can say, do you have any questions or any clarifications? Again, every exercise you have to ask. Okay? Para hindi naman maano ng estudyante na parang minamadali ako nito. Okay? Parang gusto niya matapos na ang lahat. Okay? So, wag ganon. Okay? So, wag niyang tapusin agad. Okay? So, kailangan niyo munang, kailangan mong i-assure na naintindihan ng estudyante. Know every step of the way. Then you can say, oh, so we have finished exercise number 3. Congratulations. This time we'll move ahead and proceed to exercise number 4. Okay, so this time I'm going to need your opinion. So we have your discussion question number 1. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Hawaii? All right. So again, that's it. Okay, this time, again, still listen attentively and check students' pronunciation, and then correct also students' mistake proactively. And do not argue. Okay. So you're not here to argue and have debate with the student. You are here to facilitate the learning of the student. Okay? So kung ano yung mga thoughts and opinions niya, kanya yun. Okay? Respect the opinion. If you have your own opinion, keep it to yourself. Do you have any questions or any clarifications before we proceed to the next exercise? If none, then proceed immediately to the next exercise. Okay? So exercise number 5 is further discussion. Okay? So, another questions. Okay? Relatable na sa kanyang life, sa kanyang buhay. Okay? Like for example, have you ever been diving or snorkeling? If not, would you like to try it? So that's actually the content of the daily news material. All right. Well, this time let's move to frequently asked questions. Okay. Now, first question: do we need to finish the entire material during the demo? The answer is not necessarily. Kasi 15 minutes lang. Okay? The material is actually designed for like 25-minute class. Okay? So minus 10. Usually during the demo, minsan hindi na natatapos yung article. Okay? And then siguro kung mabilis kayo, okay, hindi masyadong talkative yung student, siguro makakaabot kayo doon sa checking your understanding or discussion, okay, but not everything. Okay, always remember that on the 14th minute, inform the student that the lesson time has ended. Okay, start the wrap up and leave a positive impression by saying goodbye properly and not ending the class or the call suddenly. All right, so again, ganun. All right. Now, what will a timer be visually displayed? So, during my demos, the answer is no. Okay? So, you will be using training lesson rooms. The timer feature is available for active tutors. Okay? So, no timer. So, you have to be very vigilant of the time. Okay? So, mayroon naman sa computer, mayroon naman ng time dyan. Or you can also have a timer para masigurado mo talaga na 15 minutes. What things are considered personal information? Ito na ba yun? Okay. Well, personal information, these are actually information that the student is uncomfortable of sharing. Okay, take note of that. This can be, but is not limited to age, marital status, number of children or siblings, or religious beliefs, even political beliefs. Okay, so these are actually personal matters na they're very uncomfortable. And then in Japan also, meron sila very protective kasi ng government nila. Okay, so sana all protective. So bawal ganon because that is actually for their security and confidentiality. All right? Nangyayari lang yun if voluntarily the student would, give that information to you. Okay? Or if mayroon kasing mga material na kailangan ng mga ganitong kuan, ng mga ganitong mga mga details. But of course, if you want to know, you can always ask permission. Importante na if you ask personal information, ano ka talaga, you need to make paalam. So ask permission. All right, do I need to send any material links? Actually, there's no need to send links for the lesson materials because the lesson room has a shared view and navigation feature that ensures you and your student are always viewing the same material. Where can I see or find the student's request? All right. Well, for the demo class, you will not receive a student's request prior to starting the class. So you will have to ask the student what type of class they want to have. Okay, if it's material or free conversation. Sinabi ko na during the consultation. All right, anong gusto nila? And then how can I access the materials page? Okay, this is very important. Well, to access the lesson materials on the lesson room, actually, after the Q&A, like I said earlier, bibigyan ka naman ng link, okay, to the lesson room, the training room, okay? And then you just have to click materials on the upper left side. So makikita mo naman doon may yung nakalagay, materials. Okay? And on the left side of the page or click daily news. Okay? So kung daily news na yun, hanapin mo on the upper left, may nakalagay naman na daily news. Okay? For quick access to the daily news materials. So you can also view all of our materials on the materials page. Okay? And then how will I know if the student has already entered the lesson room? Okay? Very important. Okay? When the student enters the lesson room, you should hear an entry chime. Okay? So it's like a sound, a chime. So ganyan, no? Malalaman mo that the student's already there in the room. Okay? If you do not hear the entry chime, siguro CR ka or something, tapos na pumasok na yung estudyante, medyo na-late ka ng konti. And then, yung estudyante, pagkita niya na wala ka pa, and then he left the room kasi wala pa yung teacher. Siguro nag-CR din siya. So you can always check the call log in the chat box. Okay? So it shows the history of who has entered the lesson room and when. Okay? Meron kasi, if you enter the lesson room, nakalagay, Jacko entered the lesson room. When you go out, Jacko left the room. Okay? So ganun. So makikita mo doon kung pumasok na ba yung estudyante at hindi kayo nagkita, hindi kayo nagkatagpo. Okay? Nagtagpo pero di tinadhana. Ayay! Nagtagpo, Bisaya din kayo. Now, when should I enter the lesson room? Okay? Well, you are expected to be in the lesson room 3 to 5 minutes before the start of the time. Okay? Or the lesson time. However, you are encouraged to enter earlier if you wish to practice navigating the page. Okay? So, when you click the link, make sure, ang una mo talagang hanapin, like for example, if daily news, hanapin mo yung word na daily news. Or kung material, hanapin mo yung word na material. Okay? You can explore. Okay? So, it's always good to be early. Okay? Yun yung benefit ng mga early birds. Di ba? Ano nga ang kasabihan? Early birds? Early birds? Early birds? Flocks together. Ano ba naman kayo? Ay, binago na. Early birds flock together. Alright. Now, let's move to the next FAQ. Can I use prepaid Wi-Fi mobile data as a backup connection? The answer is the recommended type of internet connection is a wired connection, LAN cable. Engoo also accepts LTE, prepaid home Wi-Fi connections. For either connection type, we require a minimum connection speed of at least 1 Mbps for both upload and download speed as tested against the Tokyo server. Again, not Philippines. Alright, what will happen after the demo class? Okay, ito na yun. Now, after your demo, you will be provided with feedback on your performance and be given tips on how to improve your performance. You will also be evaluated based on your performance during the demo class and informed of the result. There are three. Okay, possible outcomes: pass, retrain, and failed. Okay, so pass, retrain, and failed. For pass, if you pass the demo, you will receive an instruction what to do next. Okay, pwede ka na to activate your account or you will proceed to the next demo. Okay, kasi dalawa ang demo. Or retraining, okay? Pag ano ka, yung talagang malaki yung points na nabawas, maybe because you have forgotten, in one of the steps in the basic lesson flow. Okay? So, bawas. Hindi ka pumasa sa threshold na pass. Okay? So, retraining. You will have to book a new session to show you have understood the feedback. Okay? So, ibibigay naman sa iyo yung feedback mo. Okay? The things that you need to improve on. Like, for example, na-miss mo yung audio and video check. Yun kasi kalimitan yung mga nalilimutan. Maybe because of nerves, so nakalimutan mo. Hindi ka kasi naglagay ng sticky notes. May sticky notes ka sana para kasi the beauty of the sticky notes, kahit naka-on call yan, naka video call ka, makikita mo pa rin alongside, on the side, yung sticky notes. Okay, so, ano din, okay, use the resources. And then the other one is failed. Oh, ito na yung pinakamasaklap na mangyari sa inyo during the demo lesson. If you fail, you will receive information on what needs to be improved and can apply again in 6 months. Ito, pag fail na talaga, major na ito. Siguro, sa nervyos mo, hindi ka na nakapag-audio video call, hindi ka na naka-consultation, hindi ka na nakapag-introduce, immediately nag-proceed ka na sa lesson. So, ganun yun. Pag marami kang na-skip na and then, sometimes pag inatake tayo ng nervyos, hindi ba mas minsan naapektuhan yung ating grammar. Okay, sana hindi mangyari sa inyo. I pray na who's ever watching this, you will not fail, okay? You will pass in the name of Jesus. Okay, so, well, I think that's it, okay? Thank you. Ang ganda ng caricature ko dito. Okay, so, thank you, by the way, for watching. And if you are new to this channel, okay, subscribe and then click the notification bell. Okay, and also like this video if you like it and share this video, okay, to groups or to your timeline. Parang awan niya. Okay. Well, anyway, and then also, if you have suggestions, if you want a shout out or you have questions, just comment down below, okay, in the comment section. And then, well, that's it for today. Looking forward to seeing more of you again. All right. Well, I don't want to say this, but bye for now, mga ka-Jaconatics and ka-Engoo, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon. Bye-bye.